This is the most dominating player in the history of the NBA, Shaquille O'Neal.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到冷饭说。今天我们整理一些 NBA 球星，讲述和奥尼尔之间鲜为人知的传奇故事。Kobe
Bryant。Who would Shaq be if he had your work ethic?
He'd be the greatest of all time.
If Shaq had your work ethic,
he'd be the greatest of all
time. Greatest of all time by a
sure. He'd be the first to tell you that, for sure. I mean, this guy was a force like I have never seen. It was crazy. You know, a guy at that size. Generally, guys at that size are a little timid and they don't want to be tall. They don't want to be big. And this dude he did not care. He was mean. He was nasty. He was competitive. He was vindictive. I mean, yeah. I wish he was in the gym. I would have had fucking 12 rings.
He had the work ethic.
My God, yeah. We ain't be close. My first year we were playing, and he kept posting up, but they kept fouling him, so he kept going to the free throw line and kept missing them. And so he'd throw the ball out to me. I'm not throwing that shit back in there, right? So I kept shooting him, right? So we get in the timeout, and he's like, hey, I'm open. I'm like, okay. And so we go out, and same thing, hey, I'm open. Okay. There you go. Come back in. Hey, dude, you got to throw me the ball. I said, man, fuck that. Get it off the rebound if I miss, bro.
You told him this. First year.
18 years old, man. 18 years old. And I must have been out of my damn mind.
姚明
As a basketball player, I was one of the most blessed players on planet. I played against some of the best athletes in the world. A great athlete not only has great teammates, but also great opponents. A great opponent push us forward. A great opponent like Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, every game we played remind me of the old saying that what doesn't kill you make you stronger. Thank you for that.
Yeah, what was your first impression of Shaquille O'Neal?
Well, it's almost like a rhino on there on the court to play against. A couple of years ago, I went to Africa to see a real rhino, but it's not much of a difference.
Mark Madsen
So you get drafted by the Lakers, and you're playing with all these veterans and your all-stars. Was there someone who took you under their wing right away?
I think for me, it was Shaq, actually.
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq took me under his wing.
That dog. Most rookies, when they come in, they go crazy, including me. I went crazy. Mm-hmm. There's 12 guys on the team, including Mark. 11 guys are doing what guys with money do.
Sure.
And there's one guy that's not.
Okay.
So when you got 11 guys and you want everybody to be collective, everybody da-da-da-da, I was going to, nah, Mark ain't doing that. Mark's not doing that at all. Stay away from him. Don't invite him out. Don't be bringing certain people around him. Don't do that. Because he told me, he said, Shay, I don't do that. So I don't do that. I don't talk to women. I'm waiting until I get married. And it was awesome to hear because I've never heard that before. And I said, okay, so it was my job to protect him. Mad Dog was the purest NBA guy I've ever met.
Yeah?
He really was.
He came into the locker room one day and he said, who in the world is driving that Toyota Astro van? and I raised my hand and said, Shaq, it's me. He said, you are not rolling into the Staples Center driving that beat up Toyota minivan.
We're all in Mercedes, Ferraris, Lexuses, and Lamborghinis, and Mark is in. I'm like, Mark.
So he took me car shopping.
He offered to buy you a car?
He offered to put a down payment on the car.
What was the down payment? That could be like $1.
It's like $5,000. I said, Shaq, I'm getting paid now, but he did give me a great deal.
And he's like, I'm gonna put a $5,000 down payment on this car.
We get to the car dealership, he walks up to the first guy and he says, take me straight to the manager. We get in there and he says, Mr. Manager, this is Mad Dog. I'm gonna buy him a car today.
Of course, that's a very Shaq thing to do. So what'd you get?
It was a blue Chevy Tahoe.
A Chevy Tahoe?
Yeah.
Not so flashy.
Not so flashy, but it was great. It was a great car.
And Shaq approved?
Shaq approved.
Okay, and he paid $5,000?
He offered to. I insisted no, but then after that, he took me to the Big and Tall store. He shelled out $7,000.
What?
On a different pair of jeans for every day of the week. And,
okay.
And then
so you had like a Monday pair, okay.
And then he took me Rolex shopping. And he bought a new Rolex for every single guy on the team.
I want to rock right now. I'm Shaq D's and I came to get down. Yes, I'm internationally known. And I'm known to rock a microphone. Because I get stupid.
Brian Scalabrine.
I'll tell you the story. So Shaq gets an offensive rebound and the coaches say, you're either 50% shooter, you got to foul him, and don't let him get an and one. So he gets an offensive rebound and I'm behind him, right? And he comes down and he goes up and I'm like, I got to foul Shaq. And I come down, two hands as hard as I can, like almost like a horse collar, but I'm just gonna like I'm gonna just destroy this man, right? Like this is not gonna be good. And I'm afraid as I'm doing it, like, damn, this is Shaq. I can't believe I'm doing this to Shaq. And I went down and I went to grab him, and instead of my hand, like, see how my hand could wrap around my shoulder? It was like I hit like cement. I just went boom, he went up and he dunked it. So as soon as he went up and dunked it, I'm thinking, oh my God, he's gonna kick my ass. Like, this is like the worst position I could be in. And I almost would rather him have kicked my ass for the fact that he didn't even recognize that I was there. It was way worse for my ego. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, oh shit, I'm gonna get my ass kicked by Shaq in front of everybody. And he just walked to the free throw line. Like, I felt so insignificant. I almost quit the NBA at that point. I was just like, you know what, I'm probably not an NBA player. If I gave this guy everything I had and he went up and dunked it like I wasn't even there. So that was like the only time I was actually afraid of another human being, because, you know, he's massive, but that made me feel so insignificant.
Dwyane Wade.
The three individual players would be Shaq, Zoe, and LeBron. Was probably the three I took the most from. Shaq, I took the way that he was, like, I was so quiet. I was an introvert, like I didn't talk much. I didn't let my personality show. Shaq kind of opened me up. You know what I'm saying? When he gave me the nickname Flash, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I bought into the Flash character, and like he started opening me up, so I started being more like, you know, I started speaking for myself. Yeah. I started saying what I wanted.
Your first championship, to go through that and win a championship with them players, what did that mean to you?
That was unreal, bro. Like, my first year, like, I was just having fun. And we were just having fun. We went from being a terrible team to a good team at some point, and I just enjoyed being in the NBA, making some noise. And then trade happened, Shaq come to Miami, everything changes.
Yeah. The major headline around the league tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat have agreed to a trade that will send Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest big men of all time, to sunny South Florida.
First, my reaction, well, I was a little saddened at first because I knew I was losing my buddies in Lamar and Karan and Bryant. But on the other end, I was very excited. I mean, I'm playing with one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
Hey, Dwyane, he was pretty courteous. No sooner than when he got there, he showed up and said, hey, let's just be straight about this. This is not my team. This is the young fella's team. This is Dwyane Wade's team.
When I got there with D. Wade, you know, I was like, you know what? I'm older. I'm tired. It's your team, D. Wade. And we never had problems. I said, tomorrow when I go to the press conference, it's your team. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna be your consultant. I'm gonna be your consigliere. You're the godfather. I'm the top lawyer. We work together.
No, it's not my team. It's not just Shaq's team. It's our team.
To be able to go from that to like then the next team was like, hey, Shaq here. It's time to win a championship. I'm like, wait, what?
Right now?
I just got here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
instantly.
You know how it go.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Pulled up in the big truck and said what he said.
Big fella said, you gonna bring a championship to Miami?
Remember this? I'm gonna bring a championship to Miami, I promise.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Another great LA story is, of course, Shaq was on top of his game. You know, they were winning every year. So Coach Nelson, Donnie, had the idea, okay, you're gonna guard Shaq. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, okay, is this a joke? I mean, the game starts right away. He, of course, kind of seals me. I get around, lob comes, Sean comes. he basically elbows us both out of the way and dunks it as hard as he could. Next time around, same thing. So, of course, the plan didn't work at all. We were both way too skinny to handle him. He ended up having like 46 points. I mean, just dunking on us, and he was so much bigger than everybody, so much wider, but he was so agile, and so he had a good touch around the basket, and his footwork and powerful. I mean, he was. So that was my Shaq story. I tried to guard him, and he left the game with 46 and probably 24 or something.
Last time you guarded him?
Yeah, that was the only time I ever guarded Shaq.
Phil Jackson.
Early in that season, coming off the floor in the second or third game, I met him out on the court and said, what was the greatest thing Wilt Chamberlain did in his career? And he said he averaged 50 points a game and 40 rebounds a game. I said, no, that's not it. He averaged over 48 minutes a game. Do you think you can do that? He said, if Wilt Chamberlain did it, I can do it. So Shaq played 48 minutes a game. For how long, Shaq? John Sally came in my office about 2 weeks later and said, do you think you can start limiting Shaq's minutes? He's getting tired. But he got in shape, and he won the MVP, and he was great that year. Great year for him. 60-some points against the Clippers. Yeah.
That night, it was my birthday, and we had a party. So, usually I go home, eat lunch, take a nap, get ready for the game, but we playing against the great Keith Kloss and the LA Clippers. So I'm taking the night off. I got to get ready for the party. Clippers, we always manhandled and beat them. So that day I said, you know what? Since I got a party tonight, I'm going to let Rick Fox and Kobe and those guys take over. I ain't going to do nothing. So the whole day I'm setting up the party. I'm calling, hey, make sure the drinks is there, make sure boom boom is there. Because also what I was going to do in that game is I was going to foul shave. You know what foul shave is?
No. Oh, what's that?
Foul shave is when you get in the game, you get 2 quick fouls so you can sit down. I get to the game and I'm dead tired. I'm like, I'm not going to do nothing. So
wait.
Hold on.
The party's the night before or the night after?
No.
After the game.
After the game.
But why are you tired?
Because I didn't take a nap. And I'm out all day. I'm out, calling people, going to the mall, getting the jewelry. I got to get the ice ready. I got to get the derbies. I'm getting suits made. I got to get the car washed. I got to get the rims cleaned up. So I get home about 4. I don't even get to take a nap. I got to get back on the highway because I live an hour away from Staples at 5. So I get to the game and I'm like this. So the game start and the Clippers are killing us, right? Clippers are killing us, and then Phil, he starts yelling at me. And all the guys start looking at me, so I'm like, all right, give me the ball. I'm just scoring. So I look over to the bench and I see one of my idols, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar I guess he was a special assistant coach. So I got the ball one time and I, shot like a little sky hook, just to pay homage to him. And he did me like this, Ernie. He put his head down. So now I'm super pissed. Phil's calling other players. I'm like, we're not running that right now. Turn 5. Get it to me every time. He's like, why is it not? Get it to me every time. So I'm starting to go to work and I'm getting the ball and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, you got Pete Chilcutt on me? You're not going double? Barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert, Ernie McGuire. So they had Pete Chilcutt sticking me. They had Anthony Avon sticking me. Then they tried the Hack a Shack thing, and I had to get my elbow in like my name was Dennis Scott. So, as players, like, you get 30, right? And you're like, man, I can get 40. So I got 40, right? I was like, man, I can get 50. So now that I got 50, guys are like, go get 60, go get 60. Only thing that upset me about the game is I think we had 5 minutes left. I think I could have went for 70 or possibly 80 for that game. Phil took me out. So, but it was a great day.
So 61 and 23.
Yeah, 61-23.
Oof.
And he was tired.
Yeah.
How many fouls in that game?
I think I had 3.
Birthday, big fella.
And then there was a hell of a party, Ernie. All the superstars.
Where was it?
The party was at an aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. and I pulled up in that white convertible Rolls Royce on him.
What was the music playing? What music playing?
Bow down.
Bow down.
Bow down. What you call it?
Gotta go back to 2000.
Bow down, because I'm messing. Oh, yeah.
好了，这就是今天冷饭说的全部内容了。小伙伴们记得点赞、订阅、加评论哟。冷饭说，我们下回接着说。